In this episode, we host Karen Taylor, the Executive Director of the West Kerr County Chamber of Commerce, who talks about the impact of the eclipse on the greater Kerr County. I know you'll enjoy this episode of The Night Sky, a podcast on the eclipses coming to Kerrville.
That's okay. We got them littered around here like crazy. Okay. And we're rolling.
Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode with my co-host, Andrew Gay. Today, we are thrilled to have Karen Taylor. Karen is the Executive Director of the West Kerr County Chamber of Commerce. And I wanted to visit with Karen about the eclipse coming to Kerr County. So, Karen, first of all, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Karen, as I mentioned, the eclipse is coming to Kerr County, and Kerr County is obviously a very large geographic county. It's got metropolitan area of Kerrville, and it's got rural areas, and it's got small towns in between. From your position as the executive director, what does the eclipse coming to Kerr County mean?
Well, as far as we know, what projection is that the prime darkness during the total eclipse in 2024 is going to be in England. And, they were saying the Stonehenge area, but actually, according to Jeff Stone, it's going to be TJ Moore's parking lot, lumber parking lot. And so we're going to be very crowded. And they're predicting 150,000 people. In Kerr County, we have about 1,200 hotel rooms available. We're not ready, and there's no way we'll be ready. And even how prepared we are, we're not going to be prepared. This is going to be something that this area has not had before.
For those who are not familiar with the term Stonehenge in Kerr County, could you remind us what that means?
Stonehenge 2 is located at the Hill Country Arts Foundation, and it was constructed by a rancher near England, and it is 80% as the circumference is 80% of the original Stonehenge and 60% as high as the original Stonehenge. And so it's called Stonehenge 2. And we get so many tourists that just come to have pictures taken. There are by the Easter Island statues as well. And it is just a fabulous place to look at and see. And it found its perfect home at the Hill Country Arts Foundation. It was on a private ranch, but then the ranch sold, and it's not something that's really a selling point, I guess, when you buy a ranch. I'm not sure. Anyway, but it was donated, and they were really glad to have it.
Karen, what is the West Kerr County Chamber of Commerce, and what is your role as executive director?
Well, it's a one-person office, so a little bit of everything. I've been working on improving our membership, advertising for our members. Have you seen that I've been sharing your podcast?
I have. Thank you.
On Facebook.
Thank you.
I try to promote our members as much as possible. Because that's what we are. The chamber should be promoting and networking and bringing our businesses together. And speaking of that, I have something to tell you, Tom Fox.
Well, tell us. Do tell.
Every month, we have a monthly mixer.
Right.
Our last mixer was at Bridget's Basket. It was extremely well attended. And each month, we pull a name out of our hopper for a member of the month. And guess just who happens to be at this in April?
Oh.
Tom Fox is our member of the month. Compliance Podcast
Stellar.
Network.
There we go.
And this happened before you asked me to be on your program.
Wow.
And so, yeah. And I did not pull the name out of the hopper. It was, I think it was Bridget that did, Bridget's Basket. So congratulations. And unfortunately, you were not there.
No, I wasn't.
There was $800 in the hopper sponsor pad that you could have had, but must be present to win.
But you still let him keep the title.
Yeah, you get this wonderful for a whole month.
I get the sign. It's even better. That's going out on prestigious Sulaco Drive. I hope everyone sees it.
And I have a banner as well, but it's hanging at Fidelity Abstract and Title because they were a member for March.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, let's get back to the West Kerr County Chamber of Commerce and the Eclipse. What kinds of discussions is the chamber having? Is it trying to educate its members as to what's going to happen, perhaps business opportunities for us all?
We're trying to get the word out as much as possible. At first I felt like I was Henny Penny going around, the sky's falling, you've got to find out about this, because a lot of people didn't know there's going to be a total eclipse, and the amount of tourists we were going to have in our county. And the schools will not be open, and because the total eclipse on April the 8th is on a Monday. And just think about a month or two ago, there was that terrible 18-wheeler wreck on I-10.
Right.
And they were directing the traffic through Ingram to go out either 27 or 39 to get back to 10. It was the amount of traffic was unbelievable just in Ingram. And I kept telling people, can you imagine what it's going to be like April the 8th, 2024? If this really shook you up, think about it. And we have a first Thursday morning group that meets at the Covenant Presbyterian Church, and we have businessmen, the city of Ingram, many representatives that come, the bankers and stuff. And we were talking about this. I was like, and I even got Jeff Stone to come and talk to us there. And I said, you really don't understand. You have to think about when COVID hit and there was nothing on the shelves, it's going to be worse.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just us. This is another 150,000 people. So you've got to remember, you've got to stock up way before these people come. They're going to start trickling in Thursday, and then there's going to be a mass exit on Monday, and because they're wanting to go to the next dark spot. And so anyway, you've got to have your gas, you've got to have your groceries, and if you use ATM and you need to get some cash, you better get it before, because the bankers won't be able to get to the banks to load the cash in the ATMs. And so there's so many factors that you have to think about. We can say all this and we'll be prepared. I just don't think there's no way we're going to be prepared for this.
Let me go back to a real life event that you cited to us, and that was a very bad wreck on I-10.
Mm-hmm.
And I live right off Goat Creek. So when they started, so what they did, they diverted the traffic south off I-10 onto Goat Creek Road,
Mm-hmm.
and then west to Ingram on the Junction Highway, then back up to I-10. So I saw that traffic
Mm-hmm.
on Goat Creek Road. Now imagine bumper to bumper, 18-wheelers with double parked cars on both sides of the road, almost down to one lane, literally all the way from Goat Creek, all the way down the Junction Highway, back up the Junction Highway, up to I-10. And that's what it's going to be like.
It is. I talked to one county official, and I live on 37, almost Hunt. And one of the things they're saying is that they may have to lower the traffic, not just allow locals to use that road, because what they're afraid of is that once the eclipse starts, it's not just 4 minutes of darkness, it's the time coming up to and going past. And because it's only 4 minutes, no, it's really not. There's a long time when it slowly creeps across, and you start to see it. And so one of the things that they're thinking about doing is, like, you maybe give us a placard or something. We have to get it, you have to show your address, from your driver's license, so that they will just have the locals being able to use that. Otherwise, what they're afraid of is once it gets dark, people will just stop in the middle of the road and watch it.
Right.
I think that's absolutely applicable, because from what I've heard and some of our talks with people that have previous experience with this, is what did the Convention and Visitors Bureau say over and over again? People will do what they think is legal. So they're not really interested in doing what is legal. They're just going to do what they think is legal, and parking on the side of the road for 4.5 minutes might not seem a big deal to them. And That might seem totally legal, but it might cause a whole slew of other problems.
And, we're trying to educate on safety, especially your eyes. And so we have the chamber has ordered, we didn't order a lot of the glasses, but we got the ones that actually are made for NASA by that same company. And we've ordered glasses. We'll have some for sale. We're giving them out to I guess I shouldn't say that, but we're giving them to everybody at our annual event. So, it's just part of it. We're just trying to get ready.
So what about like the people who live in Ingram or the people who live in Hunt? The people who live in Ingram is I would say, as you're going down the Junction Highway and you turn up the hill to go into Ingram, do they understand that all of this chaos is going to be right in their front yard too?
They are. They're starting to. I think, some think it's not going to be a big deal. It's just going to get dark. They've seen one before. It's not that. It really is a big deal. We're not talking about 150,000 people. We're talking about 150,000 people that live for this stuff. They follow it and they move to Kerr County and build houses to watch it.
As we know.
Yes, like our friend Jeff.
Yeah, no, it really is an amazing event. And I'm, just get ready, and they say I-10 is probably going to be shut down, and all I can, in my brain, wrap my brain around it is the fact that, like when I used to live on the coast, and when you had the hurricanes coming in, the exit out of town and the interstates were shut down. I mean, nobody was moving. And that's probably what it's going to be like here.
Let me change the focus just a little bit. My parents were teachers. You're a former teacher.
30-something years.
Exactly. And our first guest on this podcast was literally a double PhD. First one was in astrophysics, a very smart guy. And he talked about, I asked him, I said, where did you get this love for the stars? And he was at literally 8 years old, and a teacher, I think, taught him about Jupiter and its moons. And from that moment forward, he was hooked. And so it strikes me that there's not only a great opportunity for the Ingram schools, Kerrville schools, or any other schools, but hopefully we're going to fire that sort of love of science in a whole new generation. Is the Ingram School District going to be able to celebrate this in any way, or is the chamber part of any of those efforts?
Well, Ingram ISD, Dr. Robert Templeton, has decided to not have school that day. He would love to be able to have the students at school to do something, but it's about their safety. Getting them to school is going to be a big thing because Stonehenge 2 is directly across the street from the high school and junior high. And so, but what he has done is ordered enough of the Eclipse glasses for every student in the school. They'll all go home with them. So he's all about the safety of these kids. And, because if you're not an educator, it's not about the kids, you shouldn't be an educator. So there.
Right.
Amen.
Andrew?
Yeah, so you did a great job answering some of the questions I was going to ask. One of the things I was going to ask is, has the chamber, the West Kerr County Chamber, been in talks with anybody as far as like law enforcement or Ingram or Hunt about your role? Like, how do you see your role in that? I think you kind of touched on that earlier. You're welcome to expand on that if you have any other additional thoughts about any of that.
Well, like I said, when we have those first Thursday morning meetings,
Mhm.
they're there. And we've been talking, not in depth, but at the meetings, we've kind of gone over some things, and they are meeting and trying to prepare. Ingram is small.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking about, because it's a smaller law enforcement department. So how do they try to prepare for that? I mean,
I think they're having talks with the county and the other law enforcements in the county.
a lot of collaboration.
I think so.
One of the other things I had, you were kind enough to give me your website address for the West Kerr County Chamber. I got that pulled up, and I noticed you guys have an event on April 20th. Do you want to talk about that just a little bit?
I would love to talk about that.
All right, let's do it.
And so if you pull up our website, there it is, Shadow of the Moon. And It's celebrating the two eclipses coming. The one in October 2023 is annular eclipse, and then the April 8th, 2024 is the total eclipse. And so we just thought we would go ahead and start celebrating the shadow of the moon. And we are very, very fortunate. I did bring a cheat sheet, so I don't want to leave anybody out. Our corporate sponsors and our largest corporate table is, we're calling it the Total Eclipse Table. And those sponsors are Heart of the Hills Camp, Camp Stewart, Bella Luce, Hill Country Telephone Company, the Creek Boutique, Falling Rock Ranch, and the Hunt Store. And those are total eclipse tables, and we're very happy and proud and thankful for our sponsors. Then our annular eclipse tables, it was, didn't work real hard to make those names up to figure that out.
They fit perfectly, just like a puzzle.
It does. Is Jimmy's RV Repair, Ingram ISD, Security State Bank, Ranch Marketing Group, Hunt ISD, Liz and Bruce Bond, General Rental Center, Sage Investments, Hill Country Luxury Living, and Key Real Estate. And those are our annular eclipse tables. And we still have tables for sale, and we also have individual tickets. The total eclipse tables are $1,500. The annular eclipse tables are $1,000, and individual tickets are $60 each. And so we're very, very happy about that. And then we have some fabulous silent and live auction items. I mean, really good stuff. Do you want to hear some of them?
You bet.
Yes.
Okay. Right now we have a fire pit from Home Depot, and then we're calling it, I'm not really sure what we're calling it yet, but Falling Rock Ranch has donated one of their Verbos, and we've made a package out of that. And 5D Steakhouse, Southern Sky Music Cafe, Bridget's Basket, and Copper Pot have all donated gift certificates for dining to go with this package, so you can have a whole weekend of Verbo and eating. and so I think that's going to be really nice.
It's a perfect package.
It is. And then Full Circle Moments has donated a concert tickets package, and she is what do you even call it? Is a promoter of musicians and develops concerts, and that's Merlene Cox. She's fabulous. And the LD Brinkman Private Collection has donated us a G. Harvey print that is absolutely gorgeous, that we're really happy about. And I said, Bella Luce, and I did. And we still have, I think, something coming from another place. But and those are just some of our live auction. Our silent auctions, Telus Equipment gave us a professional backpack blower, and it was $550. Yeah, I mean,
Those things are cheap.
No, they're not. Woodbury's Taxidermy has donated a European mount and a purse. I can't even name all of them. We have gotten so many nice things. Davis Chiropractic. I mean, we have just been very, very blessed. Ken Stopel, the thrift store, Trademark Air. We've just been really blessed with our auction items. We have thousands of dollars worth of things for our auction, and this helps us raise money, and the money goes to the beautification of West Kerr County.
You have a guest speaker, and I'm going to call him a fabulous guest speaker, but I'm going to let you tell us about him. How did you come to meet him, and what do you think he means to this community at this point in time? Well,
that would be Jeff Stone, and we're very lucky to have him. I met him when I started attending the meetings on education for Kerr County on the eclipses coming up, and that's how I met him. He is going to give us some info, safety issues, it's just still more trying to get the word out and help people be more educated and prepared for this eclipse coming.
I'm just going to go so far as to say Jeff Stone is somebody you should pay money to hear. It's so much more the passion he brings to this. He truly is an eclipse chaser, and having him speak, I think, is just a fabulous get for the West Chamber. West Kerr County Chamber of Commerce. And if you ever have the opportunity to see Jeff Stone, this is a great opportunity. It's well worth it just to hear him talk, in addition to everything else you've talked about, Karen. Andrew?
Yeah, I think that's probably the end of my questioning, at least for now. I really enjoyed your explanation about your event. I'm really excited about that. And I think it's April 20th.
April 20th.
So next month and and that's a Thursday.
It's a
right?
Thursday at the Inn of the Hills. The social hour begins at 5:30 to 6:30, and then we'll start our program and meal at 6:30.
Well, I'm not going to leave without finding out what's coming up in Kerr County in maybe May and June, if you've got that sort of planned out. Tell us about some of the events.
Well, in May, we're having our monthly mixer at Bella Lou's here in Kerrville. And that, I don't have the date in front of me. That's the fourth Thursday of the month. All of our mixers are the fourth Thursday of the month, with the exception of November and December. And then in November, it's the second Thursday. And in December, it's the first Thursday due to the holidays. But go to our website and you'll see our calendar and you can see what's coming up.
Karen, I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us. We end the way we started. The Eclipse is coming to Kerr County. I hope people are listening. I hope they're taking advantage of what you and your colleagues at the West Kerr County Chamber of Commerce are doing around education to help get us prepared. And come to the Shadow of the Moon. It's going to be a fabulous event.
It will be. We're also having some T-shirts made that we're going to start selling.
All right.
And that Mark Jackson designed them for us, so we're really lucky. So we're having some T-shirts made, and I hope everybody gets to see them because they're really nice.
Well, Karen, thanks again for coming over to visit with us. I look forward to visiting with you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is Tom Fox again. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Night Sky, and I hope you will check out the West Kerr County Chamber of Commerce website for more information if you live outside of Kerrville about the upcoming eclipse. We'll be back to you in a couple of weeks with another episode of The Night Sky.